Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are, whenever you're watching this. This is Floating in Dreams. Today's video is going to be my top 5, bottom 5 Fenty Beauty products. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to be chatting about my favorite and least favorite products from Fenty Beauty. I have been doing these kind of videos with other brands as well, and I thought, well, any brand that I've tried enough from, I'm gonna try and do these kind of videos. So I'm going to do Fenty Beauty today, which is a brand that a lot of people love, but I do feel that there are certain things that work for me a bit better in this line than other products that I've tried. And that's why I just wanted to come on here and share this with you, that in case you were looking into this brand and you would like to figure out what to get first, that I can help you that way. In case you're unfamiliar with my channel, hi, my name is Maaike. I live in the Netherlands. I love coming on here to chat about eyeshadow palettes, reviewing Essence & Catrice products, and getting the use out of my makeup. So that's sort of where this video slots in today. And my makeup preferences are very much skewed by the fact that I have snow angel-like skin, meaning it is fair toned with a cool to neutral undertone. And if you would like to join my little snow angel club on here, then definitely consider subscribing, because a lot of my reviews and content come from that perspective. Without further ado, let's get to these Fenty products. I'm going to start us off with my least favorite Fenty Beauty products, so the bottom 5. Not because these are bad products or anything like that, but I just want to make sure that we end the video on a high note. So these are the things I would say, these are not the products that I would recommend you buy first from the brand if this is a brand you've never tried before, or, you know, if you have my kind of skin type or skin tone. I felt that these products just didn't give me what I would want. Again, not because these are bad products. I know that they work for a lot of people. They just weren't favorites. And some of that also has to do with me making mistakes when I bought these. So let me get to these bottom 5 products. And the first product I want to chat about, which I'm going to have to pop on the screen for you because it is already decluttered, and that is their primer. The Fenty Beauty primer was one that I threw in for a full face makeup look with Fenty Beauty to make sure I had a full face of Fenty Beauty. But I ended up not loving it for my dry skin. I've got dry, dehydrated skin. And I have just found, as you will see with a lot of the least favorite products in today's roundup, that Fenty Beauty base products tend to be aimed at normal to oily skin, like more combination type skin even, rather than someone with very dry skin like mine. So for me, a lot of the Fenty Beauty products actually didn't really work. It very much sat on my skin very weirdly. And this primer, I mean, it was perhaps okay. I could have perhaps at some point used it up. When it comes to primer, there are a lot of primers that I try every year from Essence & Catrice, and I just felt that my Essence & Catrice primers, especially their hydrating ones, were better for me than this Fenty Beauty one. So even though it was more expensive and it was very much hyped up in the beauty community, it just wasn't quite right for me. And I don't want to hang on to products just to hang on to products because they are popular. I need them to work. And for me, the Fenty Beauty primer just, it felt a little slippy, a little silicone-y. It just kind of sat on my skin. I didn't like how it made my makeup look as well. So the Fenty Beauty primer was definitely one that I didn't love. Another product I didn't love as much as I thought I was going to was the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix Eye Brightener in the shade Seashell 03. This I thought I was going to love because I love my concealers and things like that to be quite like illuminating and hydrating, and just like, I don't really need coverage. I feel like I don't mind if you can see my dark circles coming through a concealer. I'm not a high coverage kind of girl. I just like things to be very natural and ethereal and dewy and glowy. So when I saw this being launched, I was like, right, that is going to be perfect for me. And I like this enough to keep it around in my collection. But in terms of what it does, I don't know, it's not giving me like, ooh, I really want to use this all the time kind of vibes. And the main reason for that is because I felt it highlighted some of the dryness and texture that I've got going on in my under eye area a little bit too much. So for me, I'm in my late 30s, I've got some fine lines, I've got some texture, I've got pretty deep set eyes. So even though I don't love coverage, I do want my products to not make that area look any more pronounced than it already is. And this, I felt, did make my eye, like my under eye area, just a little bit crepey. Was that something I could fix by pressing it back in with my finger? Because this is a product that reacts really well when, you know, you use the oil from your fingers to like spread it around and do all that. So I like the shade of this. I like the initial way this goes on and it looks, but the way this wears throughout the day means that I would only use this for like no makeup looks, like something just to slap on because I'm running errands. And that's not necessarily like my life. It just doesn't really fit in with my lifestyle per se. It's a good enough product that I'm like, yeah, I could see myself using this like if I'm on vacation. Whenever I'm traveling, I don't want to spend too much time on my makeup. I just want to enjoy the trip. So that's why a product like this will still come in handy sometimes, but it's not too much of a favorite for everyday use. Another product that I did quite like, but if I just have to make a selection of things that I love and things that I'm like, nah, I could do without it, it's the Fenty Beauty, what is this called? This is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder in the shade Butter. This is nice. This is a good powder, but it's a loose powder. And I don't love loose powders. I bought a travel size of this, which I do have to give the brand its credits with how much they do in like mini travel sizes, but it's so messy. And like to travel with this, I would never do that. It's quite like, it's good that it has the puff so that you protect it at least a little bit from spilling everywhere. The way this powder works though is really nice, but when it comes to loose powder, I just find them too much of a faff to use. And even with this container, like for how small this is, it's still quite bulky. So I still wouldn't want to travel with this. Like I have an Hourglass mini container from their Veil powder that I tried in a mini size that I loved and used up. But because it was so small, it was really easy to use. And with this, I'm like, did I really need this in my life? No. So because I was doing a full face of Fenty Beauty, I bought this powder, and this is the powder that I bought and then realized whenever I do a full face of, I don't need to buy powders all the time because I have my solid favorites. Because I have dry skin, a lot of powders just don't really stand out to me. I don't need things to be set into place. My skin does that for me usually. So for me, the powder is a bit superfluous in my collection. Maybe if you have oilier skin, you might like this still. And if you love loose powders and you're looking for a good loose powder to try, I would recommend it. It is a good product. It's just, again, not really something that really goes with how I like doing my makeup. That's what it really boils down to. The next step in this bottom 5 is going to be just foundations and skin tints. I've tried 2 of them. One is already gone because I decluttered it. That was their Hydrating foundation. This is the Ease Drop Skin Tint. And I didn't like both of these. Again, I've kept this around because I like it enough to keep it around in my makeup collection, but it's not a favorite. In terms of what a skin tint can do, I think this is a really good all-rounder for a lot of people. Again, with my dry skin, this semi-satin matte finish that it has wasn't perfect. It really accentuated a lot of the dryness like around my nose. And that's the thing that I have found with a lot of Fenty Beauty base products. It's very much geared to skin types that aren't mine, namely normal to oily rather than dry, dehydrated, and texture and whatever. I've tried their Hydrating foundation and that transferred like there was no tomorrow. Whatever was in that, it just wouldn't, like, it just wouldn't stay put. And then you would wear a scarf in the wintertime and your scarf would be covered in foundation. That's not the kind of life I want to live. Was it pretty? Oh yeah, it was a really, really good one. Again, foundations in Fenty, great shade range. You're gonna find your shade. Now they need to start catering to people with dry skin. If they could do that, I would be so much happier with these. So yeah, Fenty Beauty is not my go-to brand for complexion products, for sure. And by complexion products, I mean base products. So primer, foundation, concealer, powders, they're just not my go-to brand because they don't cater to my skin type. They just don't. And finally, in this bottom 5 part, this is my mistake. This is not because this product has something going. I'm a bit mad at myself for this one. But they're cream bronzer. They're doing cream bronzers, and I was like, well, I'm usually the lightest shade in everything, so I got the lightest shade, which is amber. Not knowing that this is their contour shade. So I was hoping this could be used as a bronzer, but it's more of a contour, and I don't really contour. There is another shade up, which is Butter Biscuit, which then looked too orange for me. So I kindly, based on what I've seen online. So, because the only way I can buy Fenty Beauty is to go online. I'm not sure if you knew that, because the Netherlands doesn't have a Fenty Beauty counter. So I cannot physically go to a store and look at these. I have to travel to Paris or London for that. Yay. But yeah, Fenty Beauty is just, I don't know. If there was a shade in between Amber and Butter Biscuit, like, could we combine the two? Then this would be perfect for me. So shade range wise, they do a lot of lovely things, but I just find it a bit weird that in their cream bronzer, they go from bronzer shades to contour. So this for me is too cool toned, like it's too gray toned for using it all over the face for sure. So whenever I've used this, I've always used it with another product that you're going to see in my top 5. But yeah, I was just hoping that this was a bit of a different shade, and then I got it home and I was like, that looks gray. I was like, oh, so this is more of a contour, is it? So yeah, I wouldn't use this all over my face. Maybe in like the dead of winter, I can definitely get away with it because then I'm super duper fair. And then a lot of my bronzers are actually going to be too warm toned. But then I have other bronzers in my powder collection from much more affordable brands that do work on me. So that's why I feel that this was a bit of a waste of money, and I just wish that the brand had made it a bit more obvious. And like either make like a separate contour line, because this is not going to be a universal contour for everyone. But I also felt I couldn't really find my bronzer shade in the range. So yeah, lovely texture, lovely product, but it just, again, doesn't really go with what I want to do with my makeup looks. Which brings me to my top 5, and I'm just going to go straight into it. As I'm filming this like in May already because I had to pre-film, but in May I had this in my Shop My Stash, which is the Fenty Beauty what's this called? Sunstalk'r Warmth Bronzer Indasun. This is the lightest shade in their bronzing powder, and this is an ultimate favorite. The reason why it was in my Shop My Stash? I'm trying to hit pan on this year, and I'm doing a good job. Like, you can't really tell, but like this has got a huge dent in. Like, it's got a huge dent, and I love this bronzer so much. It's actually the bronzer that's on my face today, and I'm really liking it. It is such a good bronzer. It just has everything I want in a bronzer. It's definitely great for me this time of year, like spring going into summer. It has the right undertone. It has a really great texture. Mine did get hard pan for some reason here in the corner, but I can still use this perfectly fine, and save for that, which I can of course scrape off. I'm sure I'm going to be able to get more use out of this, and I hope to be able to hit pan on it very soon. Another product I love from Fenty, and I couldn't choose, so I was like, I'm gonna throw in both. It's their highlighters. I just wish though that this highlighter, the shade I've hit pan on, that shade would be sold separately. So this is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. And the one that I've used the most, as you can see by that dent, and it's got pan, like you can see pan showing. That's Fire Crystal. And I want that to come out in like a full size. Like, if this whole pan could just be that one shade, that's the dream, that's the wish. She has come out, I believe, with some of the shades from this line where They come in a single compact, so fingers crossed that it's going to happen for this one. But yeah, Fire Crystal is one of my favorite all-time highlighters. It is light enough for my fair skin without it being super icy. This was one of the very first highlighters that I tried that was like a light champagne that wasn't too yellow and that also didn't pull pinky or stark white. I don't know how they do it, but this is like my perfect fair toned highlighter. If I ever use this up, I'm going to repurchase this for sure. Like this, I love. And the other one I was holding up is the Diamond Bomb highlighter in How Many Carats. This is such a stunning highlighter, and this is one that I didn't expect to love. I bought this together with a mini lip gloss just so I could try it. And now I regret not having this as a full size, but it's gonna take me a while to get through this for sure. This highlighter looks wet on the skin, and the reason why I thought I wasn't going to like it is because it has obvious sparkles when you swatch it, but when you put it on the cheeks, for some reason it doesn't really show up. So the way I love using this is two ways. I love going in with my fingers and just like tapping it on. That works really well because this is more like a cream formula, but this looks stunning as well if you just take your wet makeup sponge, really load it up in there, and then tap it onto your cheeks. That's my favorite way of using this. And this, in the winter time when you have a lot of low light situations going on with maybe candlelight over Christmas dinner or like some lighting coming in like that, it is absolutely beautiful, and this shade is perfect for my fair skin. And this next product is going to be a bit controversial because one of my favorite products that I've tried from Fenty are their snap shadows. Fenty Beauty eyeshadow is something that a lot of people like to hate on this platform. Like, I don't know what's going on, but the Fenty Beauty snap shadows and also other eyeshadow palettes that they've done haven't really gotten the same kind of hype as a lot of the complexion products that I don't like. So with Fenty, I've decided that whenever something is super hyped up, I'm probably not gonna buy it, but the products in the line that nobody talks about, I'll probably love. That's sort of like the conclusion I have come to. But yeah, I have two of these and I love them. This is two cool neutrals, and this, it's so stunning. We have a lot of like taupey grays and then some pinky shades, and then this brown toned, it's like, it's brown, but it's not too like brown, and it's got a bit of gray, and it's like, it's so stunning. Great for deepening things up. It works so well with my fair skin tone, and this pop of purple is perfect for like an inner corner or like a pop of something colorful on the lower lash line, or maybe as a bit of liner with some of these pinky shades. I do have to say that these two shades are a bit too similar. I would have preferred it if this was a bit lighter, a little bit like more white to it, then I would have liked it even better. But yeah, this is a stunning little palette and I really like it. I really do. Are these the most pigmented shadows you're gonna find? No, but these palettes are filled with one and done shadows. So if, like me, you work in an environment where wearing loads of makeup just isn't exactly done, then these shadows are amazing because you can just slap these on. They're small, they can snap together, so you can build your own custom little palette out of these. I love it. The other one I have is Smoky, number 6. Am I correct? Yeah, Smoky. And here we get like a dark, like, it's not a full-on super saturated black. It's more like that charcoal kind of black. Again, some like deeper, like taupey, browny, gray kind of leading smoky shades. This lighter shade in here is great. This plummy shade is stunning. And then we get this really interesting shimmer that, it's such a good one. Again, these formulas aren't everyone's favorite on here because these are sheerer, more buildable sort of eyeshadows that aren't super duper pigmented. But I personally like this. And the reason why I got both of these is because they complement each other really well. So let me just show you. So if you thought that, you know, you wanted to have some more purple to play with the purple in this one, and you have this one, if you want to deepen this up even more, then some of these shades can work for that really well. And if you want to tone this down and pull in, for instance, some of the pinky shades with this, it works really, really well. And yeah, I just, you know, and then this is the way how they fit together. So if you were to, like, if you travel a lot for work and you just have these two palettes, these are great. I really, really enjoy them, and I wish more people would like rave about these because they are good. And then also in this top 5, I have to rave about the Fenty Cream Blush. So this is why that cream bronzer is definitely like my mistake of not really looking into the shades well enough. But I wanted to try their cream bronzer because it was so hyped up. So I love the Fenty Cream formula because the cream blush, this is the Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush in shade 05 Strawberry Drip. Hi, it's like a bright, pinky, corally kind of shade that looks really, really stunning on the cheeks if you have fair skin. Because of how much pink this has, it pulls quite cool toned. But if you have a warmer undertone, then this pulls a bit more reddish toned as well. So I feel that it's very universally flattering, and if you're looking for a good bright cream blush, the shade is absolutely amazing. But this blush formula comes in tons of different shades, so I'm sure you're going to be able to find your shade that is perfect for you as well. This works great. I love the formula. It's very easy to manage. As intense as this looks in the pan, it shears out beautifully. It doesn't make you look like a clown, and it doesn't, like, it's not a faff to use. And that's something that I've really found with a lot of cream products in recent years, is that where creams used to be such a hassle to get into and to get it to apply nicely, I feel that Fenty Beauty is definitely one of the brands that has pioneered cream blushes that are not only easy to use, but that also come in really good shades. I do have to say though, something that's a bit of a pet peeve, this is the size of the cream bronzer. Hello, there you are. But this is the size of the cream bronzer, and this is the size of the cream blush. The bronzer comes with 6.2 grams of product, and this is only 3 grams. Granted, you need very little product when you use this, so it's going to take a while to get through, for sure. But yeah, the cream blushes from Fenty I rate highly, more highly than I do the bronzer. That mainly has to do with the shade that I got and not with the formula. And last but not least, if there's one product you get from Fenty, get a gloss. In case you don't know anything about this channel, you don't know anything about my journey, I love like lipsticks like these that are more matte and vibrant, and I love red lipstick, and for a long, long time, I wasn't into gloss. And then I tried Fenty, and I was like, that's what a gloss can do. I'm holding up my favorite. I've tried the Gloss Bomb in Fussy. I have found that I don't love the Gloss Bombs, but what I do love is the Gloss Bomb Cream. So this is her lip gloss in the cream formula without the sparkle. This is in the shade Mauves, and it's my lips but better. I put this on, and like this, I remember when I first tried it, I didn't want to put it down. Like, it was like, oh wait. So I've actually stopped wearing nude lipsticks pretty much altogether, and what I go for is a gloss like this in like a my lips but better kind of shade, and I'm good. And this, it's so good. So whenever I now want to go for a nude lip, this is one of the first things I reach for in my makeup collection. And it was, I think, when I did like my top 10 favorite lip glosses last December, when I had been trying like lip glosses for about a year, this was one of the top favorites in that video as well, and that's why it's also one of the top favorites in today's video. So there you have it. Those are my top 5, bottom 5 products by Fenty Beauty. Let me know in a comment down below if you've tried the brand before, if there's anything you are looking to buy based on my video. I would love to know. And thank you very much for being here today. Please give the video a thumbs up. That would help getting my videos out there. And if you would like to stick around, then I would appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel and join my little Snow Angel Club and join us here chatting about makeup. So without further ado, thank you very much for being here. I hope you have a great day, take care, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye!